Hello, everybody. This is the homework for tonight. Students, we've been working on multiplying and dividing fractions. So this is going to be an opportunity. What I'd like you to do is you're going to take two problems and you're going to do them both. And there's subtle differences between multiplication and division, but basically we do them the same way. So the first thing you're going to do is do problem number 1, which is right here, and problem number 2, and you're going to talk as you're doing in front of a parent. You're going to keep your work in your notebook because we're going to see it tomorrow. And then you're going to unpause the video and you're going to see if you got it right. So go ahead right now and pause the video, do it, and then play the video when you're done. So hopefully a couple things you would have done in this problem. This is a multiplication problem. So we talked about in class on never having mixed numbers. So you're going to change these both to fractions. Well, in order to change them both to fractions, 2.2 is 2 and 2/10. Now, in order to change the mixed numbers to fractions, remember we have to multiply and then add. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, and then it's the same denominator that it was, 4/3. So negative 1 and 1/3 is really the same as negative 4/3. So we change that to a fraction. Now we have to change this to a fraction. So 10 times 2 is 20, plus 2 is 22 over 10. And it's negative as well. So now, when you're going to multiply these two fractions, the one thing we talked about in class, now you could have absolutely done 4 times 22 and 3 times 10. You don't need a common denominator. But we talked about in class that you could also look diagonally. Before you multiply across, you could see, does anything go into 4 that also goes into 10? And you could divide each of these numbers by 2. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So you're reducing the fractions a little bit. So now we're going to multiply across. Negative times a negative is a positive 44. 2 times 22. And 3 times 5 is 15. Now, if you didn't do that from the beginning, you would have done 4 times 22, and you would have gotten 88, and you would have done 3 times 10 and got 30. So I would have accepted that as long as it was positive. But this is the better answer because you reduced it. Now, last step, please remember, if you haven't been doing this, start trying to do this. 15 goes into 44 actually twice, because 2 times 15 is 30. And you would need 14 more to get to 44, and the denominator is 15. So I would accept this fraction, which is greater than 1, or this fraction that's greater than 1. But this is probably the best answer. The next problem was a division problem. So we talked about first getting them both to be fractions. Now 2 is really 2 over 1 because it's a whole number. And then we said that division is really the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So to solve this problem, you would have done negative 3/4 times, and then you do the reciprocal, which means you take this number and you flip it into negative 1 over 2. Now we're ready just to multiply. We've done this before, so we're going to multiply across. Negative times a negative is a positive. And 4 times 2 is 8. And we get an answer of 3/8. Hope that helped.